All right, we're back live in person with Brett. Brett, welcome back to the United States.
Yes, happy to be back, man. I don't know, like I said, I love what I do, so I come back with a little extra fire, in my belly.
It's good. I myself took my family up to McCall for 2 days. It was awesome. Everyone had a great experience, but I'm also excited and feel rejuvenated to be back here on Monday. You know what I mean? So I think you gotta find that happy balance, man.
You do.
Well, we're glad to have you back. I hope Kitco Metals has a typo because it says nickels off $4. I don't think that's accurate.
If it is, great. I sold a bunch of stainless before I left, so we're covered. But the rest of the metals are a little softer this morning. And at the end of the day, that's it's Metal Monday, so what do you really expect? Do you expect everything to be green?
We're used to Red Mondays. Man.
Yeah, exactly.
It's usually green on Friday.
We start calling them like Bloody Mary Mondays. So we should just, instead of drinking coffee or LaCroix we're going to have Bloody Marys, because we're just kind of ready for it,
Don't bend my rubber arm on that, Brett. No, I mean, really, though, the market's been awesome, in 2023, for the most part. I mean, ferrous has looked stronger. Copper's been north of
like 427 or some crazy it
430.
Hit. Yeah.
Or did it get to 430?
I think it got up there, yeah.
I think it did for a day or two. And it's just like I made a little story on TikTok with a little picture of Snoop Dogg. How high are copper prices? They're this high, man. Because it just ripped for a minute. But it's hanging in there, man.
It is.
It's not, and it's doing the movement that seems sustainable. Because if you see it move to 520, it's going to come tumbling down, So, like, these smaller moves, 20, 30 cents, like, and then it levels, and you might see another bump, or might see a little dip. It seems like more of a natural move.
Copper seems like the story. Like, it ended in last week or two of December, people were, calling for copper prices to be, pretty strong, and because of demand and and China coming out of, the COVID lockdown, and they obviously are huge consumers of copper. And what are they going to do to stimulate that economy to get going? And, so your people are kind of probably prematurely betting that copper could, run really hard. So that's what's driving it. What I was reading that John Gross, he puts out the copper, the weekly copper report.
I think he sent you something.
Yeah, he sent, and in it it says, he was talking to one of the analysts, and it says, why has copper prices, sustained such a strong run? And the guy was like pretty frank. He just goes, more buyers than sellers. Like, that's what it is, right? So does that mean that the demand or the increased demand for copper is there on the physical side? I don't know. Are people just front running the price? Like, probably
they're getting a good price, so they're buying it now.
Yeah, or they're just betting on the fact that it could be higher in June or May or April or what, you know what I mean? Like, it's so we'll see. How long do these prices sustain? The ferrous side as well. It's a tough weather market out there. It's a tough volume market out there. So the ferrous prices I see in February going up again. I mean, we're not buying a significant amount more scrap than we did in December. The weather's pretty similar. I mean, I got back to snow.
It's pretty mild though.
Yeah,
too.
But it's also like the pricing is just ho hum.
Yeah.
We had 2 years of decent pricing, and the volume just is on the commercial. Even on the commercial side, it's slowed down a little bit. So where's the volume going to come from to support the demand? Is there demand? And I think that's the big question moving forward. And I genuinely think that there's going to be enough demand to support, better pricing February and potentially even March. Now, if the weather gets better, more volume starts to come to the table. Is the demand there to support that volume? That's going to be the question,
And that a lot of factors. Is manufacturing producing it? Are there enough jobs, infrastructure jobs, demo jobs being done for new builds that create it as well? People seem a little on their heels still on spending major money to build something. So, and that's a factor about it. Like, you're not going to have a lot of demo companies nationwide knocking old buildings down, hauling in scrap, you know? Now people get more comfortable and like, okay, let's knock that down, build a new one. You know, then there's all that extra flow. So it's all, that's what I love about the scrap industry. It's so connected to everything. You know, it's all connected, like each piece. And I'm always cautiously optimistic, and, you know, up or down, we're going to keep doing what we do. So
always. And I think that's, like, we're going to, you know, we're going to buy every pound of scrap we can buy, process every pound we can process, and keep everything, you know, moving. But that isn't, you know, like, the pricing is what it is. You just got to be smart. Sell if you get into a good run. I sold a load of copper chops. I was sitting there waiting to get on this is a good story. I was sitting there waiting to get on a bus thing with my wife and my 2 kids, and I was talking to my buddy that I sell copper chops to, and my wife was giving me that sideways eye, like, are you talking about work? And I was like, and because the price of copper is like almost $4.30, and I was like,
were you in Mexico?
I was in Mexico,
okay.
Yeah. And so here I am, like, huddled up in the corner. I'm like, hey man, I'm going to price this
You're
load.
either selling scrap or talking to a girl.
and my wife, she's like trying to figure out, like, you know, trying to use Google Translate to get us on this bus, but she had bought the tickets from somebody that never paid, so we were basically not going to be able to go on the trip. And so she's all frustrated and mad, and she's looking at me to help her negotiate. And I'm like, I'm trying to sell copper right now. Like, I'll be done here in like a couple minutes. And
to your defense, that's one way you got to go on that vacation. So I get it.
So I'm like, hey, and she just kept, you know, and I love her to death. And she's just patient as all get out, but she knows, like, I'm trying to work and vacation at the same time. So yeah, it was we ended up getting on the bus. We ended up being able to go do the thing. She negotiated it somehow with the with the lady. And
I've seen your wife. She can negotiate.
Oh yeah. She can be a bulldog when it comes down to it, like, because she's the one that planned it and set it up. So I was just letting her do her thing, and I was trying to sell copper.
Did you sell your copper?
I did.
We got on the bus. You sold copper. It's a win-win.
We got to go on the trip, and it was good.
I'll be real quick. Friday, I took my family up to McCall. I took a half day. I've been dealing with a new tow bill coming through because I'm part of the tow association.
Yeah.
Same thing. I have my family. I get an important call, and they're starving, so like I'm going to hit McDonald's before we go to McCall. And I get that call, and she gives me that look. And I just park. I'm like, and I said, you guys got to go in order.
Yeah.
But they got their food. I got a good conversation in with a tow company owner. And it was a win-win, you know. But I did get that look.
Oh, like, everybody gets,
like, what the hell are you doing?
I always call it the sideways eye, like what? I'm like, don't shoot. So football bets?
So Friday I sent all my picks to Sky.
Sky hooked us up.
Well, I sent them to Sky. Then I called her. I said, Sky, flip all my picks. I had her flip everything. And it didn't. I think I hit half, but I didn't hit my cherry. You got your cherry.
Yeah, I got the Niners.
I don't think I can win. But I'm still going to keep betting.
Dak Prescott is a born loser. He's a winner in life, you know. He's a good quarterback, but he ain't gonna win you the big game. I'm sorry. It's like the same reason why Raiders got rid of Derek Carr. Like, great during the regular season, he'll do okay. He won't win you the big game. He won't win you the important game. And at the end of the day, I don't care what your stats are during the regular season. If you can just get to the playoffs and actually win the games that matter, you'll be paid well. And Dak's paid well, and he still can't win the big game.
So I think I'm going to have to use $200 for a charitable deed.
I'm chewing on which one.
But I think we'll finish out. I still want to see the total score. We'll finish out Football Friday.
We will.
We'll finish out. We got 2 more weeks of picks. So
maybe we'll double up the last.
Oh, so I can come back.
We'll see.
I like it. Okay.
All right, man.
Thank you, everybody.
Have a great week.